Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well today. For this week's video discussion, we were asked to discuss two theories, both existential and the Gestalt theory. With the similarities between the two, it is very important to be self-aware, transparent, and authentic. These three things will allow the session to go in the desired place it needs to go. But it's very important for the client to be able to be that full aware with themselves. They have to be in the here and now. They have to be able to be present with themselves and think and be able to identify feelings they are feeling. The existential theory, it places a lot of meaning on life. It uses anxiety to determine why the client is feeling the way they are feeling. Like, for instance, with the video with Gwen, the counselor was like, okay, can you identify this pain? Okay, let's go deeper. Why are you feeling why you're feeling? And can we put some type of meaning on this feeling? And that gave Gwen a sense of peace to where she could kind of work it out and feel less anxious with her problem. With the Gestalt therapy, it is rooted in existential philosophy. It brings awareness to a person's environment and the internal and external worlds. It allows the client to be aware and become problem solving and engage in self-regulation. I love the video with Stan when he was going back and forth, basically the chair, right, with the dream of, okay, he was in the bathroom feeling very vulnerable, cleaning the toilet, and going back of why his dad would feel that way, or why the therapist is looking at him, and how he was able to relate the two, and he was able to bring full understanding to the dream that he's in a very vulnerable place right now. So it was just neat to watch how that played out. With existential strengths, it places the focus on the self-awareness with the client. It allows them to have health. It allows them the freedom to make healthy choices, put meaning on life. It deals with core issues such as death, freedom, and isolation. The therapeutic relationship is a healing factor in this type of therapy or using this theory. With the weaknesses, there is no therapeutic technique or structure, so it makes it a little bit difficult to implement this type of theory. It's very vague and unclear, and there's a very strong confrontational approach. With the Gestalt strengths, it focuses a lot on the here and now. It brings awareness to one's feelings and present experiences, just as we saw with Stan in the video, and it helps clients finish unresolved issues. When it comes to weaknesses, it places too much responsibility on the client to have the full capacity to be able to look within themselves and identify what they're feeling on their own. It's almost like you need the counselor to kind of lead them towards it outside of the theory or session, I must say. It's difficult to be able to do that on your own, so that would be a weakness. When it comes to the biblical perspective of existential, being aware and authentic is great, but it's important that we form our authenticity and our virtues through the Holy Spirit and let God impact us. As we slowly conform, it's like to God, it's less of us and more of Him. And He puts value on life and why we're alive and what is our purpose. I mean, that He gives us that reason. He created us for a reason. And being able to know that will help us as Christians to, okay, we have a goal. Let's go after our goal. The things we have learned, we can use them. And so that would be a biblical perspective with that theory. With the Gestalt therapy, or theory, excuse me, it is, the emphasis is present on the experience and our deepest awareness. It allows us to process our emotional state. It's the importance of thinking. It's also very important that we as Christians do that. However, we must transform and change by the renewing of our minds to Christ. You know, we must, as I said earlier, all of Him and less of us. And by doing that, we can use the gifts that God gave us to work through problems that we have or anxieties. We can run to God with our anxieties. Any vulnerable feelings that we are feeling, we can have God meet all of our needs in that perspective. When it comes to creating measurable outcomes between the two theories, it's very difficult for problem solving. And yes, they are very bold and confronting approaches, which I kind of like, especially when going into addictions and recovery. But it is very important for problem solving. When we have our clients come in, We don't want them to sit there and just soak in 100% all the time of their anxieties. I think that would probably add more anxiety. So it doesn't allow problem solving to be able to find measurable outcomes that we are looking for and what they need to find the proper healing they need. Well, that's all I have, and I hope y'all have a great night and a great weekend. Thank you.